that wasn't intended. All right, who's feeling redneck as hell? Because we're about to get four teams back to back, all Queenslanders playing against one another. It's civil war time here on your Saturday Rugby League football. And look, normally as a New South Welshman, I would have several sort of spiritual level issues with that taking place. However, I had a realization earlier today, which has completely changed my entire outlook on that state, right? Because you know how there was that one time that Billy Moore was walking down the tunnel before State of Origin, and he went, Queenslander, right? Obviously, I think he's an absolute wanker for doing it. I have to. However, you get the word Queenslander, right? It can mean someone from Queensland, but if you actually split it up, at a different position, it's Queen slander, as in rebelling against the royal family. And that is a political opinion that I can massively get behind. I don't like the royals very much. I'm very much a Republican in that sense. So all of a sudden, I'm like, hang on. Queen slander? Hell yes. My guys represent. I'm happy for these games to be taking place. Let's get it done. How you going, everyone? Welcome to your Saturday Rugby League live stream. I am very, very excited about this one. I was at a banger of a game last night by my standards, watching my Roosters shut out the Canberra Raiders. So I'm looking forward to talking about that game throughout today, and I'm looking forward to seeing at least this game, Cowboys and Dolphins. I think is a really, really tight one. Broncos and Titans, well, yeah, we'll get to see some tries, eh? We'll get to see some tries. Seeing a lot of people in the chat already, including the AFLE, saying I'm the channel you never made. You most certainly are, and I don't know how I feel about your existence, but it's very funny. It's very funny, that I will give you. All right, should we get into the teams for today? I feel we should get into the teams for today. Why don't we get into the teams for today? Bear with me for a second. Queenslander in Pride Month? That's homophobia. Not that kind of queen. Not the Yas Queen kind of queen, but the Her Majesty kind of queen. Alrighty. Oh, it's Queensland Day. Well, that explains why all the Queensland teams are playing each other. That's actually pretty boss. Anyway, looking at the teams. So, no changes to the sides initially named in the backs. We do have a change in the forwards. Jeremy Marshall-King comes in to start. He's obviously their best hooker at the club. He starts at the hooker position, moving Max Platt to the bench. Other than that, Vitamu Greg comes onto the interchange for the Cowboys. That is all we've got for today. Liberal scum. Who's calling me liberal scum and why? All right. Did Leaguie swear says it's a crazy day for Queensland sport. All Queensland derbies and netball. Or something about derbies. I missed it. But anyway, that's nice. I did not know. I just assumed it was a bit of a coinky-dink that they've got all the Queensland teams play against each other. But it's an actual Queensland day. If only they could, celebrate it by actually having one Origin games. But, it's not for everyone, so. I'm ready for a Brad Schneider masterclass. Well, I don't know if I told this story specifically. I did mention a couple weeks ago when the Finns were down here in the nation's capital that I went out after their game and I ran into most of the squad in a nightclub here called 122. Specifically, Brad Schneider. As I was leaving the club, he was right in front of me and I went, "Oh, Bradley Schneider." And he turned around and looked at me like I was a mental patient. But regardless, I did manage to serenade him in that sense. So that's definitely a feather in my rugby league cap. I will take that with me for as long as I live. Why can't we have a public holiday out of Queensland Day? Because it's Saturday? I don't know. Alrighty. C Factor says for Cohen Hess, boys, we can do it. What happened to Cohen Hess? I'm not across it. Honestly, my day today has been an absolute blur. I have done so many weird and wacky different things that I'm just not across the news. He's playing. He's on the bench. Must be a milestone. It's his 250th game. Wow, 250? That's a lot of rugby league games. I would not have thought that he would have got to 150 yet, but I guess he has been around for quite a long time. Congratulations to Cohen Hess. Ah, look at him running out with a big old smile on his face. And then immediately turning to Gavin Cooper. Shout out to him. And Jake Granville and Matt Scott. Oh, there's a couple of legends out there for the North Queensland Cowboys. Look at that. Fair bit of talent going around. Payne is also playing his 150th today. Well, that makes me feel old. Jeez, I remember him coming along back in the day. All right, according to NRL.com, they have kicked off. They are far from kicking off on my screen, but I'm going to get the timer going anyway. As usual, I'll let you know when they kick off on my screen so that you can sync up with moi. Were you a part of the Roosters fans Viking clap last night? My good sir, I was clapping harder than anybody. Ooh, ooh, cha. Ooh, ooh, cha. Right, they still haven't kicked off on my screen. It is maybe one of the only times in my life I haven't done the Viking clap to start the game. There's the kickoff if you want to sync up with me. Cowboys, Finns. We're going to see some entertaining footy here today, folks. The Hammer versus Drinkwater. The fullbacks, the Fox have done a big old promo about it. As geez, we get a bit more of Tom Flegler's ass than I was personally comfortable with seeing. That is a glorious start to this game. Is it a full moon or is that just Tommy Flegler? Anyway, in at dummy half, Jeremy Marshall-Key. See, this is why I will never get a commentary job at one of these actual, like, broadcasters. Because I say things like that. Anyway. Oh, there we go. Queensland Netball, AFL, Ice Hockey, and Rugby Union teams all on today is what I was saying. That is nice. It's almost like a coordinated effort. Because this isn't a thing that they've done before, right? At least NRL-wise. Doing all the Queensland teams on Queensland Day. Haz says, why the hell was it so white? Get a tan, brother. Look, I am a mixed race individual. My father is like notably brown skinned. And yet I leave my house so infrequently. Well, actually, that's not true. I leave my house a fair bit. But I leave my house in scantily clad clothing so infrequently that I literally look like Luke Keary underneath this jacket. So it's, yeah, I may he who has a tan cast the first stone is the argument I'm trying to make, essentially. That's where we'll leave that. All right, Labour now up over the 20. By the way, by the Rugby League way, Xavier Coates, oh my stars, this poor guy, out for the rest of the season. He hasn't played a game yet. Like, I made a whole video about the adversity that the Melbourne Storm have faced this year. That's yet another bit. That's devastating for him. What you said was still better than Brad Fittler's comment. You know what? That is true. However, I feel he has maybe some grace in the bank being, you know, one of the greatest players of the modern generation. I'm quite a fair way away from meeting that mark in my own personal rugby league career. Although that said, apparently at the Raiders game yesterday, my mate said that there was a girl there in a Manly scarf. Shout out to her if she's watching this, by the way, who apparently he overheard was a bit too shy to come up and take a photo with me. And that puts me on a level with Brad Fittler, I think. That's probably happened to the two of us. So it's funny. Normally, I'm the one who's too shy to go up and interact with women. But it's a real, you know, it was a flip on its head. That was quite nice. 6 again here. We're off to a flyer, by the way. 6 again here for the Finns. Chester the Molester was an absolute violation, but I think it's so funny. It really is so funny, like objectively speaking. I've dropped something already. There we go. Yeah. You know what? I normally fiddle with my ring. I have a ring that I wear. And I normally fiddle with it throughout the streams, but I can't find my ring. So today we're going to be fiddling with a Pepsi Max bottle cap. Excuse me. All right. Tommy Flegler, Mr. Full Moon himself. Great offload there. Now in the hands of Frankie Molo. Dummying going himself. Finn's looking good already here. Eli says, Legman, I had to cancel my KS subscription because I am broke, so I need you to lock in for commentary for Broncos v Titans. That is not really what I do, but we can go with it.
Roaming to Rome, just redeem Pepsi Max sip.
That I will do. Nicarima with the kick over the top, caught there by Jackie Bostock, who will just die with that ball. Oh, thank you, Daniela.
I just heard apparently a very signed for West Tiger, maybe, I don't know, but I saw it on Instagram.
Yeah, so it's not confirmed yet, but heavily rumored to the point where I definitely expect it will happen. 4 years, 675K a year. We spoke about it a little bit. I don't personally think he starts at the Tigers. I really like Savannah on the wing. I'd have center pairing of Makasini and May, and I'd have Tariva on the other wing. My halves would be Dewey and Luai. Maybe once Luai leaves, they view him as the sixth, though. And so that's where I think he could fit in. Or potentially in at center, you play Makasini on the wing. Watson says you could fiddle with a keychain I made you. That is so true. I can't currently reach it, though. And if I were to get up and, like, grab it, I would give you guys, like, just the most 4K high-definition shot of everything going on down there. That's not true. Everything below the desk. I am wearing shorts, though. But it would ruin the illusion of me being in a full green suit, which people have, so... Leaguie, when's the new video coming out? It's been 2 weeks. It has been 2 weeks. That is a great point. Admittedly, in that time, right, it's not exactly been 2 weeks since I made a video. I would have made about, 4 or 5 shorts in that time and done, I'm going to say, like 8 live streams. So it's something. But no, I'm in exam season. I've got to focus on that. But my exams finish on Thursday, and then I have a clean month of nothing. And there are a heap of good ideas. A heap of good ideas. 6 more there for North Queensland. My usual thing that alerts me of like what's going on in the stream and donations and stuff is not working at the moment. It's reloading. But anyway. Did you ban Casey Maguire? I did, yes. Because of the spam. All right, dropped there by the Cowboys. Cobbo's picked it up. Cobbo's away now. Chester, the molester, is chasing him. He still gets away from Chester. Cobbo's going to go the length. Selwood Throbbo, the Cobloaf himself, goes the length of the field. And the Finns are in for their first. Oh, the Cobloaf. Oh, the Cobloaf. That is glorious, and he just fended away from Tommy Chester. He looked at Hugo Savala do it last night and said, look, Hugo, I know you're probably the best center in the world, but anything you can do, I could do better. Look at that. One fend. Chester goes after him again. Another fend. And then he's just clear from that point. Selwyn Cobbo. What a player he is when he's on his form, and that is absolutely brilliant work from him. Selwyn Throbbo beat Chester the Molester. I couldn't have said it better myself. I certainly tried to. Yeah, Eli, that thing with Brad Fittler and the Fox Sisters might be the single worst video I have ever seen. And I watched some of the League's early content, so it's like objectively speaking, it's just awful. Absolutely awful. The 2 Queensland AFL teams play each other the same day the 4 Queensland NRL teams play each other. It feels like a really silly scheduling error to have them all on a Saturday. It's because it's Queensland Day, apparently, according to Matt Russell. I don't know. Farnworth or Trelmit? Farnworth. Even though Latrell used to be my favorite player in the world, I just... I think Farnworth, you get a bit more consistency. Obviously, the best of Latrell is notably better than the best of Herbie. But I'd take Herbie being 8 out of 10 consistently. Isako, good kick from the sideline. I really think he kicks the ball better, like, in terms of conversions, than anyone else in the comp. I love his technique. It's so glorious to watch. Now, it's a tough one to convert there from the sideline, but he's got it done. 6 points to nil here for the Finns. Leaguie, the team song was a little quiet. I turned it down a lot. I'll turn it up a tad more. Can you do game day vlogs at Raiders and Roosters games, please? Well, I haven't really gone to Roosters games much this year. I think I've been to like 2. Raiders, yeah, I used to do them very successfully back in the day. They always perform quite well. Issue is this year I've been going with friends, and I feel weird, you know, being the guy grabbing the camera and being like, oh, let's film what's going on. I just like to enjoy being there with my friends, you know what I mean? And vlogs take a very long time to edit. So I'm not ruling it out. Definitely, I think towards the bigger games of the season, I can do it. No, for now, I kind of just enjoy being at the game. What does Queensland Day mean? Nah, bruv. It's a day that they, more than average, get to be, like, holier than thou. Which they tend to be anyway. What's your major, if you feel comfortable sharing? I don't think I have one. I don't really know. I do a Bachelor of Laws and a Bachelor of Economics. That's that. I do have, like, a specialization of commercial law. So that's probably the closest thing to what you're asking. That was knocked on there by Jackie Bostock. Now Drinkwater's got it. Tries to get away from Nicarima. He does. A German eligible player trying to get away from a Netherlands eligible player. Dino!
This is for the lady who was shy with Manly Scarf.
Oh.
Get a new team in the Leaguie.
Look, I'm not at a point where I'm picky enough to allow someone being a Seagulls fan to be like a prohibitive factor. I am like that. You know what? It's a bird club. They have a beach. You are the Sydney Roosters. I'll take it. But, no, thank you for the $15. That is much appreciated. That's brilliant from you. Love that. Love that. Let me try and reload my, my recent events panel, which allows me to actually read those messages out. So I hope I don't miss any. Otherwise, I have no way of seeing them, which sucks. Anyway, kick from dummy half. It's not going to go over the sideline. It pulled up quite massively there. Who do you reckon's winning next? As in between Broncos and Titans? Gotta be the Broncos, surely. Look, I know that their form's not great. Obviously losing to the Dragons last week, but my God, they will have a point to prove. And the Titans really are neither here nor there. I feel that if the Broncos don't get a win versus Gold Coast, astaghfirullah, as they say. So, yeah. Dad Bass says, why do you hate the Waz so much? Sure, buddy. I know what you're doing. I see you. I see you. I see you. She's a 10, but she's into Union as much as you are into League. Yeah, I think the banter could be good. Plus, I can fix her. It's all right. Farnworth with a ball. Now up to nearly the 30. In fact, he stands in the tackle, gets away from Cotter. Still going here, Herbie. To find Isaiah Katoa. Oh, he was tempted. He was absolutely shaping up for a pill across the field. Didn't go for it in the end. Michael Ennis correctly says it was shades of his game at Shark Park earlier this year. All right, now up to find someone Cobbo, but no, it's a great catch from Labour. Brilliant work there. Solid work from the Papua New Guinea eligible winger, and they come away with the ball. That's crazy. You can fix it. I can fix it, though. Look, I am a bit of a rugby league prophet. I enjoy spreading the gospel. It's kind of my purpose in life. And so I feel that I can convert her to the ways of actually seeing ball in play. I think it could be done. Eli says, do you think dropping Mam to the bench was a masterstroke or a master flop? Did they do that for last week? Remind me. Or is this the first week that we're seeing that? Are we even seeing that this week? I don't really look at the team list until the game because so many teams make changes anyway. I'm like, what's the point? Oh, no. Okay, Mam is on the bench and Duffy's at 6. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see, won't we? But changes are necessary, and I think with a guy like Ezra Mam, he's obviously a much better player than Duffy. That's objectively true. Probably has a higher ceiling as well, but sometimes players need a little bit of a wake-up call, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it works for him. You're going to be live tomorrow for the Dragons game? Yep, I'll be doing all the games from now on in the round. If you think you can fix her, she probably thinks she can fix you. Yeah, but this is the difference. She can't, and I can. And the only reason is, it's nothing to do with us as individuals. It's because rugby league is objectively a better sport. That's what makes the difference. Nick Ariba straight through. He's not got support around him, unfortunately. Goes back to fight Cobbo. What a pass that was. Absolute bullet there. Selwyn now, spreading it to the right-hand side. Katoa, is he going to do the pass? Not quite. Gets it to Jack Bostock, though. Has support outside him. There is full moon rising there in the centers for the Dolphins. It's been a night for it. It has been a night for it. And Bostock staying down here, begging for some high contact. McIntyre is not happy about it. Do want to give a shout out to Jack Bostock, because that night in the club here in Canberra, one of my friends, who is a Danish girl, has absolutely no idea about rugby league whatsoever, was convinced to go up to him and say, hi, I'm a massive fan, can I have a photo? And he took a photo, and it was very nice. Very, very nice. All right. Finns looking good for their second here. On the fourth, no, that was a great tackle there from Poju on Jeremy Marshall-King. He's a crafty hooker, but he couldn't make inroads there. Katoa chips it up to fight a back rower. It's a bit above them, though. I don't know if that's been back off the Cowboys or forward off Herbie. In fact, it wasn't a back row. Yeah, it was Herbie fine with, but he was very much in that back row sort of position. It's going to be called a Finns knock-on. As someone who married a Welsh rugby union girl, it's entirely possible to convert a union person to league. Take them to a game, they'll see the inherent superior pace of league. Absolutely. I mean, you say superior pace, I would go as far as to say superior rate. No, I would. No, that's maybe a little bit too far. Knock on there from Labert. We're feeling a bit rogue today, okay? We're going to get a challenge here. I think we are going to get a challenge here. All right. Thoughts on Labour finally not leading a national poll and One Nation knocking them off? I don't really put much importance into polls. Polls can be very, very deceptive. You can poll whoever you really want to poll. But I don't know. And I also kind of don't care that much at this point. I've not had enough spare time on my hands to really care about politics at the moment. Leaguie, what's a bigger red flag? Souths fan or New South Wales born Queensland fan? I would much rather go out with the Souths fan. Because, again, banter would be good. But New South Wales born Queensland fan is someone who inherently lacks a moral compass or any grounding in reality and any loyalty to who they are. So, Captain's Challenge successful. You know what's funny? I saw that pop up on NRL.com. Like, a solid maybe 5 seconds before it was rolled on my screen. So I must be very far behind. The Rogie is well and truly back. That he is. Mario.
Leaguie give the recent Leeds versus St. Helens game from Thursday a G's it slaps so hard, along with a running battle it's glorious.
Okay. Leeds and St. Helens. I did see an interview with Jack Wellesby after the game, but I don't remember if it was a winning or losing one. But sure, I will have a watch of that. I've got a bit of time after this stream because qualifying for the Monaco Grand Prix is at midnight. So I should be studying throughout that time, but realistically, that's probably not going to happen. All right, McIntyre now with a run. Up to near the 30. So I really thought Dolphins were going to be up 12-0 with all the attack that they had earlier on in this game. Now there's a chance, really, for it to become 6 points apiece. Hello, TMC. Okay, how you going? All right, here we go. Inside the 20 now. Marnie, dummies one way, goes the other. Now to find Hyla Maluki, who, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I saw walking around Canberra last week after commentating him against the Raids and saying that he was deserving of a Queensland jersey. I literally ran into him at a zebra crossing, and I was like, it's so weird. I was literally just commentating you. Hello, Drek. Good to see you. All right. Now to find Drinkwater. Cut out pass. Oh, beautiful work for Sutton, and that's a try to Murray Taulagi. That's glorious. That was a little bit rogue the way that came about. Yeah, the sort of a 5/8 playing in that center role, but the finish was what mattered, and Murray Taulagi got it done. 4 points to 6.
Come on the Cowboys. Come on the Cowboys.
Look at this play. So Purdue, or as long as they're going to say he didn't take out Katoa is sort of baying for it. We'll see. It wasn't cleanly running through the line there. Let's see. Purdue does run into Katoa and sort of stop him from getting a good go at Sutton. I, to be honest, think they might take this off them. I think they might have to take this off them personally. But we'll see. I don't think it's the end of the world if it stands. But I do think Katoa is impeded somewhat. The poll people are quoting is pretty misleading. It only surveyed a small sample, 1K. The normal amount is approximately... I'm not going to read out the numbers because people will go crazy. And was taken from more traditionally conservative areas. I wouldn't sweat it. Yeah, that's sort of the point that I made. All right, so it looks like the try will stand here because Clifford is lining up the conversion. Try confirmed. I've got to say, I'm a little bit surprised about that. I am a bit surprised. I think that it's sort of a ruling that I'm going to blow up about for sure, but I don't know. Time sync, please, mate. I'm actually going to try and get further ahead than what I am. I've just refreshed. The moment that he touches the ball, Clifford, he strikes it, I will let you know. Ooh, there. He's put it way up in the sky, but it's off to the right. So it remains 6 points to 4. Who has more teeth, a fish or a Souths fan? Including or not including aquatic-based South Sydney supporters, because I know that you can get pet membership, so that kind of muddies the waters a little bit. Hasman says, I almost forgot. 1 to 9,927. Let's go with 2. Actually, wait, no, that's like the second player ever, right? I don't want it to be the second player ever. Let's make it 9,850. Who would win? A full 18 squad of JTs or a full 18 squad of Joeys? Probably JT, because he, from memory, was a bigger body. I didn't really watch Andrew Johns, but I pictured JT as being a bit of a bigger body. I feel he'd handle the physicality maybe slightly better. What's worse, Yunyan or AFL? I think AFL. Actually, as far as like, if you ranked all the sports in the world as to how much I would enjoy watching them, you'd have rugby league, you'd have Formula One. You might honestly have... No, but I like basketball probably more than rugby union. But you could make a case for rugby union being third because it is really, really similar to rugby league at the end of the day. It's just a worse version of it, in my opinion. But it's not a bad sport. It's a very, very good sport. AFL, I don't particularly think is, in my opinion. But anyway. Solid catch there from Misako. He had Purju right up and on him. So under pressure, the wing has done well there. George Dragons fan bringing back a quote that I gave earlier, saying, a true Kirk's Pasito isn't authentic unless it has a hole in the neck. Leaguie's mate in Coles 2026. So true, actually. That is completely correct as a quote. Wait, why would that have been a no try? Because Purju ran into Isaiah Katoa and certainly did impede his ability to tackle Scott Drinkwater. So it's hard to say. Thoughts on Knicks up 2-0? It has surprised me how little the Spurs have delivered in the key moments in this series. I know, obviously, it was a game that very much came down to the wire. Could have gone either way. And we're having a very different conversation, but 2-0 up, you know, the numbers don't lie. It's pretty much must-win territory now for the Spurs. You do not want to be 3-0 down at all. It wasn't an obstruction. Katoa made an offensive decision. That's probably the way that they've ruled it. But I'm not completely convinced on that. I think that I've seen them go the other way at times. For instance, like, okay, not a perfect comparison, and I don't like using my own team, but say last night, the no try to Fahu White on, because of the Siwa Wong obstruction. Different scenario, but I would argue that that was as much of a defensive decision. But anyway, is what it is. High up in the air here from the Cowboys. Underneath it is the hammer. Ex-Cowboy, of course. Hammer, so good catch. What did you expect? Danhausen cursed the Spurs. That is true. That is true. I love that curse is continuing. It's kind of actually brilliant. I've seen worse obstructions stand. Yeah, that's true as well. As I said, I to be honest, I don't even particularly want to be talking about it because it's not that big a call regardless. It was kind of fine either way, so. Yeah. Nicarima now. Oh, knock on from Herbie. Ends up in the hands of Lukey. He has Cobbo to beat. Can't quite. That was a very important tackle there from Selwyn. Congrats for being picked to coach the New South Wales Blues, mate. I would immediately resign. I am not up to the task of coaching this great state. Absolutely not. Not a chance. Cat has very much showed up throughout, considering what he's gone through. Spurs are better on paper, but damn, everyone on the Knicks has delivered, especially the bench has gone crazy. Yes, him shutting down Wemby has been special. That's the task, and he's done it brilliantly. All right, Marnie now. Across to find Drinkwater. Back inside for Sutton. He stands. He's nearly going to get there, you know, but not quite. North Queensland with a great chance to take the lead here. Still 3 tackles left in the set. They're right on the Dolphins line. Drinkwater now to the right-hand side. Finds Clifford. Beautiful ball there. Chester. He's dropped it. He's dropped it. Jeez, it was a try for your life. And Tommy Chester, the man who was beat by Solomon Colbo for the Dolphins one try, has made another error there. Another error. Okay, we've got an interesting technicality here from Wyatt Raymond. He's saying that Cobbo actually knocked the ball out, but then Chester knocked on anyway. Kind of doesn't matter, actually. Let's see here. Yeah, that's beautiful work from Selwyn Cobbo. Does Chester knock the ball on? If Chester's hands don't contact the ball after it comes out, you can ground it with your torso. This is actually interesting. Let's see here. That's not touched his hand. Oh, that has there. If he hadn't touched it with his hand, that's a try, because you can ground it with your torso. Look, if Loz and Freddie can coach New South Wales, you couldn't be much worse. I could absolutely be much worse. Much, much worse. Chester and Felony would be a mean centre pairing. Are there any others that we could go with? But yes. I don't think you can say that this is grounded by Chester, even though it kind of looks like it. Oh. They're going to give it. They're going to give it. No, you know what? I'm incorrect about that. I am incorrect about that. If the ball's just on the ground, yeah, you can just ground it. Interesting. Very interesting try, but absolutely the right call. Absolutely the right call there. Good thing we're not burning the bunker, otherwise that try incorrectly would have not stood. Hey, how about that?
Come on the Cowboys, come on. Come on the Cowboys.
As a law student, free the guy. Free puff. Oh, Jesus Christ. You've just got... What is your obsession with this man? If you are truly was it a flag player for the Dragons? I hope that if you make first grade, these comments don't come back to bite you. It doesn't look great. Dad says, what if we make a $3 trillion petition to get you to coach the Blues? Don't worry, bruv. I'll be the assistant. Then we'll be good. Then we'll be fine.
She's a 10, but she's 9 years old.
I don't know why that was so quiet. She's a 10, but she's 9 years old. Well, lock him up. Lock him up. I am not going near that. Absolutely not. I think I missed another alert there, but I can't go back and see it. I'll see if there's... I can look at it on YouTube. I missed something else. It was a subscription. But anyway, my software thing is not working right now. Kick converted there. 10 points to 6. It is. So it's been a high-quality game so far. It's been a very high-quality game. That's going to lead to some fun mod queues on r/NRL. It is. And I feel bad. I haven't been... to be honest, for quite a long time now, I've not been active enough as a mod on that subreddit, but I just have not had the time. I don't know if I will. In my contributions to Rugby League, when I sit down and I want to do Rugby League things, it's making my content, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's going to be interesting. 2 is the player who's played the second most ever games. It's based on games played. Do you still want 9,850? No, I do not. Yeah, I always forget what the ranking is. But yeah, okay. Give me then 25. Give me 25. That should be a good player with a good narrative around him. Legman, remember it was me who reminded you that you could go to Origin 1. Did you now? Well, thank you for that, because I really enjoyed it. Someone Throbbo's getting me throbbing. That is a bit up and about, a little bit etched, a little bit, information that, to be honest, I could have fundamentally done without, and probably the 50 people that are here watching also could have done without. But regardless, is what it is. Penalty there to the Cowboys. We are so just like off kilter sometimes here. It's so good. First thing we do is get Andrew Johns and Laurie Daly to come back. Then we just get the best players and we start a 15-year winning dynasty for the Blues. When you say Laurie Daly to come back, you mean like as a player? He's outstanding player, but like I would say probably current day, Ethan Strange might be a slightly better version of current day Laurie Daly. Just throwing that out there, like just like putting it up there and seeing what sticks. You know what I mean? I'm not sure I can agree with that. Cobbo back to the Broncos? I don't see it personally. Has he extended yet with the Dolphins? I know it was a 1-year deal. From memory, he extended, but I don't know if it was official or not. Drinkwater sweeping across. Oh, beautiful pass for Ruben Cotter. Held up beautifully by the Hammer. What a try saver there from the Hammer. And in fact, that's going to be ruled a knock on. Jeez, the Hammer has absolutely nailed that. Damn. Thoughts on Townsville? None. I don't... What would make you think that as a Canberran, as a New South Welshman, I would waste absolutely any part of my day, even a fleeting moment, awarding a microscopic bit of my attention towards Townsville? Why would I have thoughts on Townsville? It's fundamentally a place that has no reason to exist. So I'm not going to waste any time on it. I'm not. Are you watching Monaco Grand Prix? Yes. Yes, I am. Josh Felony or Chester the Molester? I've got an image that is going to sum this up. Bear with me. This is absolutely going to be worth it. Absolutely, like, without question, going to be worth it. I can't find the image. Goddamn. Okay, we're gonna improvise here. I'm just gonna show it. This is important, I promise you. Josh Felony or Chester the Molester?
We talked about Messi last week, didn't we? Yeah. Or 2 weeks ago, I should say. And now it's all about Cristiano Ronaldo. To the motivation.
Messi or Ronaldo? Messi or Ronaldo?
All the great sportsmen in the world have always had that someone else to feed off. And I think this is another great rivalry in football. They don't talk about it. It seems like there's a bit of a respect between them. They don't ever mention each other really, but they're just phenomenal to watch. And people try and make comparisons of who's better, etc. Just enjoy them, man. We're lucky to be in this time.
Just enjoy them. Just enjoy Felony and Chester the Molester. Why wouldn't you? You should, at the end of the day. I hope that doesn't get copyrighted. It probably will. But anyway. Are you going to Chooks Power round 19? Do not plan to. No. I'll be going to very few Chooks games this year before the finals. Alright. Solid catch there from Hamiso. There is literally one reason Townsville exists, and that is the Cowboys, and they lost to the Tigers in the grand final. So that says everything about them. But they beat Broncos in the grand final, though. So, Broncos beat Storm in the grand final. And Storm are, like, kind of the big boys. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. I don't know about that one. You're like anti-Bob Catter. I'm not going to waste any time on North Queensland. Because in the meantime, gay people want to get married. That is actually outstandingly true. That's very true. Tobo, I think that's back. And that is going to be the ruling. That's a good call there from the referee. Farnworth now. To find Katoa. The crowd, they don't like it. They don't like it. Underneath this one, Gilbert went up for it. Hammer went up for it. Ended up with Chester. There are so many ex-Cowboys that play for the Dolphins, by the way. Oh, and a penalty. So many ex-Cowboys and ex-Broncos. Broncos, you got Flegler. You got Selwyn Throbo. But Cowboys, I think, more so. You've got Finafuyaki, you've got Lemuelu, you've got the Hammer. Oh, they're going to challenge this here. Former Bronco Nicarima. Gilbert. There's heaps of them. All right. Challenge Fins. They're going to say it's not gone by the Cowboys. I did an NRL grid from 3 months ago. I put Den and Kemp and got 0.17. That's great. I like using Den and Kemp in the grid as much as I can. Yeah, Tiger, I don't think I will be up in Sydney around then. So let's see here. So that's back off the Dolphins. We're going to look at potentially an obstruction from Sir Reed Almani. Sir Reed Delicious. Don't forget Branko Lee. Well, look, Branko Lee is the correct answer for a lot of different prompts. The problem is that he always scores highly. Escort. Escort line. Escort line, folks. It's an escort line. All right. Successful challenge there from Les Fins. That's what they call them in France, by the way. I'm cultured. Les NRL Dolphins. Oui, monsieur. Dad says, I'm a forward utility anywhere in the squad, including hooker. Any tips? Go to a mirror, right? And take a photo of your face. Because playing that role in a few years' time, that mug ain't gonna look the same, brother. it's going to look fundamentally more ragged than it once was. So keep a snapshot, Dorian Gray style, where like actually that's the opposite. Just normal photograph style, where you can just keep a memory of what you look like before you made the absolutely psychopathic decision to unironically play in the forwards. Fins on the attack here. 13 and a half minutes left in the first half. Marshall King to find Psychopath. Now short ball Katoa to find Connolly Lemuelu. WTF, I'm going to say that's not a real thing. Let's keep things PG, brother. Is KO/Fox actually worth it? I'm not really into supporting Fox anyways due to their standings. I understand that as well. For me, it's non-negotiable. I watch every game. That's the only way I can watch every game. So, yes. It is. All right. Tommy Gilbert now. We'll play the ball to find Marshall King in the hands of Nicarima. Oh, beautiful undersport for Lemuelu. What a tackle there from Griffin Neem. Absolute try saver there from the big polar bear. Plath now. Short ball finding Tommy Gilbert. It's not Gilbert, it's Knowles. They look very similar. All right, here we go. On the last, Katoa kicking behind. Finifuyaki chasing through, but grounded there by Scotty Drinkwater. Good stuff. WTF, I don't really want to Google that, to be honest, but I'll take your word for it. Anyway, no, I'm not across it. You got Mr. Versatile himself, Luke Lewis. There's too many positions played to list them all in this one message, and he played 208 games for Panthers and 116 games for Sharks between 01 and 18. That's funny. I didn't know he played nearly twice as many games for the Penrith as he did for Cronulla. I picture him as such a Cronulla Shark. But yes, I know he was a winger when he started out. So he played a lot of different roles. L West Tigers. So true. Yes, that is what they call them in Madrid, actually. Tigers, as I swear, gets ignored every stream. I just read out his message. I thought, no, it's not. I promise you, I have no reason to ignore Haz. I try and read everyone, but I obviously can't. Thoughts on the New English Test opener named Emilio Gay. He scored 8 runs of 14 balls and a respectable 57 off 95 balls. That's good stuff. I hope he has a remarkably unsuccessful career in the Ashes, though. All right. So now we're in the hands of Katoa. Cut out pass to find Bostock. What a ball. Isako, what a try. He took a bit more of a risk than I think he needed to, getting the ball back into the in-goal, but the pass to Jack Bostock was sublime. That they are, and Jackie Bostock take a bow because this tip-on was stunning here. Have a look. Cut out pass out the back. Bang! Oh, how's he done that? Took a big old hit afterwards as well. He's down in back play. But look at the speed of this here. Bang! Oh, that's glorious work from him. WTF says thoughts on Bricks and Minifig scandal. I am not across it, but I heard about it last night and absolutely intend to watch all the content about it when my exams are done on Thursday. V Naughty says NRL scripted like WWE. They know who's going to win. I've seen a lot of people say this lately. I think it's sort of impressive when you get to a point where you're so deep in making excuses for your own team being bad that you decide the only way that your side could possibly be this below par is if the NRL is scripted. Show me one piece of evidence that that's true. Just one, and I will freely admit that I'm completely wrong. But of course you can't. Mini Egg is screaming, Mario, Mario, at Katoa. Bloke in the red shirt jumping over players. You know what? That actually is a very accurate description of what Mario does. Who are the Cowboys then? Are they the... I don't know. There's not a Mario character that really wears those colors. Because you can bet on WWE. If you can do that, then NRL is scripted. Well, that's not exactly evidence, is it? I can bet on the outcomes of elections. Are the outcomes of elections scripted? I can bet on any sporting event in the world, really. Is any sporting event scripted? To be honest, on Polymarket, which is not something I'm endorsing, but it is something that exists, I can bet on pretty much anything that ever happens. Does that mean that pretty much anything that ever happens is scripted? I don't think so. It's scripted because I say so. You know what? Actually, you've got me there. You've got me there, WTF. That's only work from yourself. My camera's slightly in the wrong position on the screen, and I'm trying to fix it. There we go. I will tell you evidence. 90% of the time, what is supposed to happen will happen. So that's not actually a fact, though, is it? That's a vibe. And what do you mean, what is supposed to happen? I didn't think you were being serious, but you're really doubling down, and this is really funny. Please keep it up. I'm enjoying this. Definitely said by a person very young. Oh, that it's scripted. I actually don't think so. I legitimately don't think so. Because I see a lot. But it doesn't. What? What is supposed to happen doesn't happen? Because you just said that 90% of the time it does happen. How do you think... Let me ask you a question here. Oh, here we go. Mark my words, Melbourne's still winning the comp this year. That's how I know it's scripted. Right, did you... Would you have said last year, when the Panthers were last, halfway through the season, mark my words, Panthers are going to win the comp this year? Because they didn't. They didn't do that. So... Even if Melbourne won the comp this year, doesn't prove anything about what you've said there. So Jules Dragons fan says, thoughts on my new podcast, Man in a Pub? I can't see that being very particularly successful. Sorry. Okay, here's a question for you. For those who obviously know that to not be true, I'm just kind of having a bit of fun with this. There are 17 squads of the NRL of top 30 players. There's more than that if you add, players that come in beyond the top 30. So 17 times 30 is 510. Add in coaching staff, add in performance staff, add in all those people, you're up to about 1,000. Add in referees, you're certainly up to about 1,000. And in the NRL's operational managers, all this stuff, you're making the case that, let's say, 1,200 people would all have to be in on this conspiracy, and not a single one's leaking any information? Right. Sure, buddy. All right, and they all managed to do this brilliant performance 8 times a week to make it look like there's a game on. That's interesting. They're all in on it, though. They're all in on it. A drink water for Purdue. You don't believe there's rigged matches? Not in the NRL, no. Bostock's got it back in field. Katoa, he scores. And I'd love to be able to celebrate it, but unfortunately it was scripted that the Cowboys knocked that on. Dolphins in. We are the mighty, mighty Dolphins. It's a brilliant song. Again, okay, something has really gone wrong with my stream here. I've tapped a button or something that has got absolutely everything off center. My animation's in the wrong spot. There we go. It's almost like some teams are better than others. No, I don't think so, mate. Don't think so, mate. This is about what I expected from this game. I would agree with that. I expected a fair few points to be scored, but Dolphins ultimately to be the better side. Look at that. Marshall King immediately out to find Bostock. The pass is brilliant from him. Is that the Redcliffe anthem or is it the Dolphins' new one? It is the Dolphins' new one. Dolphins' new one. Thoughts on Joe Rogan? I think this might amaze you, given that I am a content creator, but I have never, not even once, listened to a single thing that Joe Rogan has ever done. Of course, on social media, I've come across the odd clip. I have never particularly stopped to watch. I don't care about him or anything, really. I don't have anything necessarily against him, especially, but I really don't care. All right, kick here from Isako. Starts way out to the right and unfortunately stays there. So the gap is 6. Feels like the Dolphins have been more on top than one converted try, but if the Cowboys can strike back before half time, there's 5 minutes to go. Set us up for a brilliant second half. Okay, who did 9/11 in your opinion? Ashley Klein. Egg says, okay, no, I'm fully on board with Riggs now. Ignore who I go for and that I don't want my team to be bad. That's completely irrelevant. You know what? I completely understand where you're coming from, and you might have convinced me. Thoughts on New Zealand announcing that a petrol station pie is the unofficial national food of New Zealand? Who exactly announced that? But that, I can absolutely get behind that as well. I think that that's a cultural icon. It's not necessarily a Kiwi cultural icon, though. We have it as well. Oh, Tommy Gilbert! Right through the line there, up beyond the 40. Brilliant work from the Dolphins forward. Look at that. I said that it would be great if the Cowboys can get a try before halftime. Maybe it'll be the Finns putting icing on their cake there. Straight through there, the former Cowboy. Alrighty. Look at the intensity that they're playing with. I'm nervous because we play against the Dolphins at Suncorp next week. And looking at the way they're performing in this one, it is ominous. Herbie, great offload there to find the hammer. Look at that. Gets away from Leaguie. Nearly gets away from Cotter, and Neem is required in the end to complete the tackle. We've got a whistle here. They're going to go back and play it on the mark. It was an MP in the Northland District, north of Auckland. Okay, so an actual member of Parliament. That's notable then. St. George Dragons fan says, my grand final prediction, Penrith and Roosters. That was my prediction pre-season. I'm sticking with it now. They can have the petrol station pie. It has nothing on the random cafe in some country town you've never heard of pie. Yeah, you might not be wrong, actually. Pie Face is good, but there are some banging towns between Sydney and Canberra where I've stopped for some pies. No one talking about how good the Finns are this year? I don't think that's true. Bloke and Bar have covered it a fair bit. But they're going under the radar for sure. I think they will keep ticking along nicely. And they could very much be a sort of Broncos-style team last year, where they just kind of sneak into the 8. Katoa, no, not Katoa, sorry, Sako. Can't quite ground the ball. I think Matt Russell called him Katoa there, and so I just instinctively said Katoa. Normally a very good finisher, but the Cowboys sliding defense was brilliant, and it really important, because if it had been 22-10 going into the break, that's quite a different sort of prospect to 16-10. The random Vietnamese bakery pie in a small area or town. Oh. No, but like, this is the issue I have with that. Like, go into the bakery, give me a banh mi every day of the week. Every day of the week over a pie. Brilliant. It's just so good. Can we let them have the petrol station pie if we get the pavlova? Is that like, you know, in terms of foreign relations and all that, you think they'll let us? All right, played there by Neem. Marnie in a dummy half. Gives it to Drinkwater. Not the biggest set from the Cowboys, but they get a good kick to the Finns. Oh, Jesus, Sarko, that was nearly intercepted. Now in the hands of Cobbo's got a bit of space around him now. It's worked out for the Finns, but by God, Jermaine Isako, when he threw that pass, he might have had his heart in his mouth after that left his hands. Holy. Error. Herbie, Herbalicious. Herbie's going bananas, folks. That's a Disney movie reference, by the way. They're going to challenge it, though. Interesting, given how little time's left in the half. Let's see here. So it's Chester the molester all over him here. His hands on the ball for sure. Neem comes in over the top. He's still holding it here, Herbie. The Leaguie and the Dolphins have the same first name. That's actually a brilliant point from you. We shouldn't, though. They should have a place name. I don't know. I don't know, Jeff. Does the ball actually come free? High contact. All right. Successful challenge. Egg says, no, we just historically get the pavlova. First recipe for the pav was from a Melbourne cook book. It was based off a dress a Russian ballerina wore at an Auckland recital. Right, so is that why they claim it then? One time at school, I saw a Samoan, shout out to Mape Sonnet, eating 3 regular-sized pies at 8:15 a.m. True story. That's my spirit animal. Like, objective. Like, I want to be that man. I want to be that man. You know what's funny? So, okay. They mentioned Wayne Bennett there in commentary. And I have him on my mind because in the press conference against Manly, he was critical of the bunker in a way that showed an absolute lack of understanding as to what the bunker is and its rules, which is interesting from the super coach or the master coach or whatever you want to call him. Not especially what you'd want to expect from him. Or high contact there from Chester. Herbie's not happy about it. Penalty fins. You'd expect them to know the rules of the game. But anyway, I then kind of sat and thought, Rabbitohs this year, 6-6. Rabbitohs last year, under his coaching. I know like about 1 billion injuries, but they were bottom 4. Hasn't won a comp since 2010. Didn't make the finals with the Dolphins, and I think he did a very good job with the Dolphins, but he didn't win the final. Didn't make the finals with them. At what point are we like, hang on, he actually did front load his career with wins with the Brisbane Broncos, who pretty much had the Queensland team at the time. And since then, he has won 1 premiership with St. George Illawarra. He has won 1 premiership since 2006. 1 premiership in 20 years? That's our master coach? On God? Really? I've held this opinion for quite some time, but I feel that it's kind of at a point where, like, a silent majority of people might even believe that, but that anyone with a prominent voice is too scared to say it. Because it's like, you don't go after Wayne. You don't. He's the GOAT. He's the Godfather. So anyway. He's Mal if he won premierships. Yeah. Yeah, I think that there's definitely similarities, actually, given the squad that Mal had in Origin. Wayne is washed, heard it here first. I think, yeah, I think that's hard to deny. Mr. Leaguie, I've got a legal question. How is your back? Thankfully, outstanding at the moment. In Italy, they have pasta and pizza. In Australia, you have a bunning snag, and in New Zealand, they have plastic pies. Yeah, you could see how the culture, like, disseminated from Europe, but just got weaker and weaker as it went outwards. Here come the Finns. Could it be field goal season? I mean, that's a brilliant field goal setup run. Doesn't look like that's what they're going to do, though. 6 again here. No, they're going too far out to the side. Kicking behind for Katoa. Bostock's there. Oh, it's going to be no result there for the Finns. So George says, hold on, wait a minute. Bennett said that he wanted to help out struggling clubs or expansion teams. He did. He did. Alrighty. 16 points to 10. Folks, this is an entertaining game. I've really enjoyed this. As a law student, how important is the vibe of the law in court? Oh, mate, it's the vibe of it. That's it is just the vibe of the law. It's Marbo. It's all that. It's the vibe though. It is. I know the reference. Oscar, that's not very nice. Why are you using that as an insult? Bennett got Newcastle to a prelim, to be fair. Yeah, he also, like, fundamentally ruined the club. I don't give Bennett a plus mark based on what he did at Newcastle, personally. I think the mark of a good coach is not only getting the most out of the club when you're there, but setting the club up for success beyond yourself. which I think he did quite well at the Dolphins, if anything. All right, Mr. Leaguie, this is a legal question. I hope you can answer this. Out of all the things you've studied, name one thing you like. But I missed the end of it. Name one thing you like about what? About Coke. The fact that it is similar to Pepsi. That's the only... Well, Pepsi Max specifically. That's the only redeeming quality about it. All right. Cooper wants to do the NRL grid. I think... Yeah, we'll do the grid. We'll do the grid. We'll do... So the other thing we've been doing at halftime breaks is Open Guesser, which I've really, really been enjoying. But we'll do Open Guesser in the coming 2 breaks rather than in this one. Alrighty. So this is the NRL grid for today. We are looking for players from the NRL era who are the nichest possible to fit in these categories. If you can think of a niche player... Give me their name and give me a position. For instance, played halfback, Raiders. Give me George Williams, top left. Yep.
Blue square emoji, because we all saw your first split second on camera today.
You did. The background wasn't supposed to be blue, but it was. There you go. Tom Duffy, bottom left. Bang. Good call. The Duffinator. Oh, what a call. What a call. C Phantom says, I'm hopping back on the Sack Payton train. I'm starting to understand why you lost to Canberra last week, by the way. Played 5'8", Canberra. Matt Frawley. He would have done it. Dan Lowry, top left, might have been preseason. I don't think preseason counts, unfortunately. That's a higher score than I expected. Could have also been in that one. Liam Sutton. Is it Sutton or... No, Ryan Sutton. Was it Ryan Sutton? I think it was Ryan Sutton. Yeah. Oh, that's high scoring. Really? Might refresh that one later. John Asiata should score pretty low for Broncos 5'8". I am blown away that he played 5'8". Oh. It's not even that low. How is that not that low? Simi Sasangi would have worked there as well. I thought Frawley was going to be a great answer, though. Played halfback and played for 4+ clubs. Drew? No. Raiders halfback Terry Campese. He's a high-profile dude, though. I reckon we can get some... Well, you know, honestly, Ethan Sanders, I think, would be a lower score. But I'm trying to think of, like, someone that has just come in and played, like, one game at some random point. I think such a beast exists. You know, KO Weeks has played halfback. I'm going to go with Sanders. See, it's not... I don't know exactly how they grade it, but it is... not necessarily the highest profile. That's a decent, like, way to rank it. But I think it's also, like, players who just haven't played many games score very low. Yeah, Asiata played a few games in the halves at North Queensland. I think he's a prop halfback on Rugby League Live 3. Really? Damn. Damn. All right. Halfback in 4 clubs. Volkman, no. Flanagan? Yes. Kyle Flanagan would count. And might actually be the best shout. Mark Smith, Broncos Bulldogs. Or do you mean Smith? Can't find a Mark Smith. Can't think of a Hayes Perham, though. Shout out Hayes Perham. Frawley was honestly so loved by the fandom. It was Schumann. So really recognizable and remembered. He was just solid. Solid as hell. I loved Matt Frawley. He had some really, like, good moments. Put Ronald Volkman in the team. So Ronald Volkman would have to be correct for one of these spots, and unfortunately he's not. So I think I'm going to send Kyle Flanagan here. Yeah, that's an okay score. I might refresh this one later because that's our highest score if we get these two right. Bulldogs and played for 4+ clubs could also have been Flanagan. But we're a bit more freed up with position now. Has Peter Hiku played halfback? Probably not. I always feel like there's someone out there to get. There's someone deep who's played like less than 10 games, but at like 4 clubs. Flanagan, middle. We can't use the same player twice. Tamade Martin works for this. Yes. Wait, does he? Yes. Bang. Shoe Man, his family owned Frawley's shoe warehouse, which was then sold. Really? That's funny. Wait, is that the one in Garima Place in Civic? Because I always... Is that a shoe place? I think it is. Because I always walk past it and I'm like... I see Frawley's and I'm like, oh, shout out Matt Frawley. But I did not assume it was the same Frawley. Jamal Idris? That's a good shout, but I think he played a lot of games. Jack Hetherington would probably be a bit better.
Well, that's why you get the big bucks, baby. That's why you get the big bucks.
Would you rather splooge in the sink or sink in the splooge?
I hope that doesn't mean what I think it means. Otherwise, that is an instant ban. I think it probably does mean what I think it means. And I'm definitely not answering, but thank you for the $5. Jesus Christ. That's caught me well and truly off guard. Marshall King would be a good chat, but he missed out by 1. I think we might have to go with Hetherington. Okay, good score. I'm going to refresh this because we're 15 out of 283. But we can do better with Ryan Sutton there. That's a guy who's 0.46. Dogs and Raiders. Hadawera Naira is correct, but probably wouldn't be that low. Nick Kotrick, same story. Look at Dono's username. Oh, I saw it. Jason Williams. I've not heard of Jason Williams. Ryan James. Did he play... I don't know if he played Dogs. I know he played Raiders. I don't know if he played at the Dogs. Liking King Tongia is objectively not correct, St. George Dragons fan. Horsburgh's correct, but he tends to score highly. Even I think it's one of the things that people... Even though he only played a couple games at the Dogs, they know he played a couple games at the Dogs. We can always just fall back on Sutton if we want to. But I think there's someone out there for us to get. I really, really do. Ryan James played for the Dogs? Yeah, well, I don't think I believe you because you did say like in King Tonga. Brad Abbey. No, I think he played Warriors, Raiders, Roosters. I don't think he played for the Dogs. Brad Abbey's a shout, you know, though. An absolute shout. Brad Clyde, he played a Raiders game in 98, so it should count. Oh, he played Dogs on loan? Same as Horsburgh? Are you saying Brad Abbey played for the Dogs on loan? I would absolutely send Bradley Abbey. Okay, we're going with Brad Abbey. He didn't play for the Warriors. Oh, well, I know he played for the Warriors reserves. What a shout. Rank 8 out of 283. That was so worthwhile. All right, we can always fit in a second one, but like kind of late and rushed. There's a Roosters column, so I should be able to focus on that if you guys want to focus on these other ones. Paul Gallen teammate. Let me think of the Rugby League Live 3 team. Nathan Stapleton. He would have played. Yeah. Oh, jeez, that's a scoreline. Matt Ikuvalu. Fergo, but probably not a better score than Ikuvalu. No. Oh, wait. Yes, the other day we had this one. Tuku. How Topuha. Oh, yeah. Tedesco. Oh, yeah, Tedesco. My favorite Cronulla Sutherland Shark. Good stuff from you. Good stuff from you. Roosters, Tigers, Oliver Gildart. Send him. Gildart. Hell yes. Ball knowledge. Roosters played in 05. Now, this I will struggle with a bit more. I know the 02 team, mostly. I don't know how old they were at the time. So this is a bit of a risk. Oh, no, he played until 02. Damn. Okay, I'm going to need to go with someone a bit younger. Has Holmes played 200? Probably. The Rock Spider for Middle Square. What? Look, I'm just looking for a name, brother. Just like legal first name, surname kind of Aries. I need something to type in. And I'm going to hazard a guess. I'm going to Eden hazard a guess that if I were to type in the Rock Spider, probably ain't coming up. So just like, that's what I'm going to try and, you know, yeah. Haggerty's the one I was thinking earlier, but I don't know how old he was. But yeah, we could take a risk. Yeah, okay, good. Jamal Fogarty, 2005. No. Paul Gallen teammate played in 05. Luke Lewis would have been it, right? Yeah, he would have. Was it Andrew or David Fafisa who played for the Tigers? Hello, Turkey. Good to see you. I think I want someone better than Luke Lewis. Like as in Nisha than Luke Lewis. But I don't know confidently enough. Oh, Brett Fitch is the Rock Spider. Okay. I will take your word for it. No. I've been misled. I'm being duped. Hoodwinked. Tricked. Being tricky trindled. It's tragic. Great shout, Tiger. Bo Ryan. Played 200 plus games. And the Cronulla Sutherland Shark. Gallon. That's not even a bad score. Played at 05. Played 200 plus games. Let's, I don't know. Thurston. They're running out, so I'm just going to bop names in. 200 plus games and Tigers. Let's go with my boy, Lawrence. Yay. We still did average, especially given that we got one wrong. That was pretty special. So, good stuff from us. All right. Second half underway. Well, nearly underway. Now, we don't really need to focus on this now, but I'm going to say it anyway. Those of you who are astute may have already noticed that this stream is a bit different to the usual ones because it is, or we're changing this from now on, it is specific to this one game. However, if you're watching on Twitch, this will make no difference to you. If you're watching on YouTube, this will also make no difference to you. You will be able to just sit and do absolutely nothing, and as soon as the stream ends, you will be redirected to the stream for Broncos and Titans. There's the kickoff, by the way. I will be kind of ad-libbing it to see exactly how to manage it. I might get it wrong. It might take me, I don't know, a minute or something to figure out how to start the next stream. But long-term, that will not be a problem in future. And actually, this isn't a new thing for me. I used to do it this way, and it was better. I just changed it because it was a bit easier to just do it all as one stream. But it was good. It allowed me to target things more. So, yeah. You will automatically be directed to the next one. According to YouTube. That's what YouTube has told me. If that's wrong, send an email to Mr. John YouTube and be like, hello, John. Why have you lied to my favorite YouTuber, the Leaguie, who's definitely probably the best YouTuber on the platform without a question of a doubt. Egg says, yeah, Finch is a rock spider because he's been convicted of doing awful things with kids. I mean, I would just call him Adam Johnson. as a Sunderland supporter. I don't particularly like that as a moment in my club's history. However, that's just always what I think of when or just nonce. Go with nonce. Nonce is a great word. Tiger says, I remember you doing this early on. There you go. Tiger, the OG, can verify it. Leon bot 0.23, man. I did not see a call for Leon bot, unfortunately. My bad. But we ran out of time. We just sort of went for it. Isn't John YouTube just the better Jax films? John YouTube, I mean, I like Jax films a lot, but John YouTube might actually be the GOAT. So George Dragons, of course I remember Lachlan Lewis. If so, look at the North Devils game against the SC Falcons. He's playing on the bench. Have a look at him now in round 11 of Queensland Cup. Is he really? I thought he became a personal trainer. Talangi with a good catch there. Up over the 30 now. Oh, so you're going to do something KO doesn't know how to do, even though they charge $40 a month. Yeah, fair play. I try my best. I try my best. Look, I don't charge $40 a month. But I might actually be better than KO. Because why would you want to watch the actual game of rugby league when instead you could be watching my face? I think that's just way better, like objectively speaking. So why wouldn't you? All right, Lukey now up over the 40. They're going to the left-hand side here now. Purdue gets away from his Sarkor. Back inside to find Sutton. Now Clifford. Good offload there to find Lukey. Are they just kind of missing... are they missing Dearden? I think that's just what it looks like to me. St. George says, Lachlan Lewis has a full greyed-out beard and looks completely unrecognizable. He had the 11 jersey but played on the bench. Yeah, so I'm looking at a picture of him. That is not the same Lachlan Lewis. I can assure you. And this is actually really funny, so I'm going to show everyone. That ain't the Lachlan Lewis we know and love.
C_Phantom just redeemed change the background color. What's the matter with the car in driving? Can't you tell that it's out of style? Should I get a set of white wall tires? Are you going to cruise the Miracle Mile?
Nowadays, you can't be too sentimental. Your best bet's a blue, true baby blue Continental. Hot funk, cool punk. Hot punk, cool funk. Even if it's old junk, it's still rock and roll to me. You didn't actually ask for a color, though. Oh, or white. White's the only color. Well, white's not a color, though. Do you want white? Alrighty. Purdue out of dummy half. Oh, he's got over the 40 there. There was a little bit of space in behind, but shut down relatively quickly. You want white. Okay, well, white is admittedly not the easiest, but I will do my utmost. It just kind of looks washed out. But, yeah, that's actually white. Oh, no, there's white. You know what? That's not terrible, actually. That looks kind of good. Alrighty. So here we go. Marnie's in a dummy half on the last now. They're going to the left-hand side through Drinkwater. Oh, does well to step away there from, I think that was Kurt Donahue. Underneath this kick is the hammer. I think it's come forward off him into the hands of Jeremy Marshall-King. The hammer, he can put in a challenge. He's not very confident about it, though. No, they are going to. Okay. He would know. This is the thing. He would know whether he's touched this or not. But anyway. It doesn't matter what they say in the papers, because it's always been the same old scene. There's a new band in town, but you can't get the sound from a story in a magazine aimed at your average teen. Yes. It's a Billy Joel song, by the way, for those who are not getting this reference whatsoever. It's a song called It's Still Rock and Roll to Me. I love the song. I adore Billy Joel. But C-Phantom, like, really seems to like the song quite deeply. Quite deeply. Do you like other Billy Joel songs, C-Phantom, or is it just that specific one? Alright, let's have a look-see here. They did just make a ruling on whether the hammer touched it, but I was too busy talking about Billy Joel. Yeah, that's come off the hammer. Unsuccessful challenge. Capitaine challenge. Alrighty. That really didn't work. That really hurt. Let's try that again. Yeah, way better. Asking you shall receive. Come out, Virginia. Don't let me wait. You Catholic girls start much too late. But sooner or later it comes out. Sooner or later it comes out. Down to fate. Might as well be the one. Show you a statue. No. I'll something you a statue. Show me a sign. Send up a signal. I'll throw you a line. You stained glass curtain. You're hiding behind. Never lets in the sun because only the good die young. What a song.
Well, that's why you get the big bucks, baby. That's why you get the big bucks.
Billy Joel ain't my lover. He's just a guy I hit with a car. Now I dance on his grave as a bride. Is that a reference? Because I don't think that's a Billy Joel song. I will be fundamentally real with you. That ain't Piano Man. And I'm pretty sure Piano Man is the only Billy Joel song. So, alrighty. Marsha King out of dummy half. Solid run there from Benji's half brother. Now in the hands of Bostock. Close to the 40. In fact, gets over it now. If we're just doing lyrics, we are the St. George boys. We had a game today. What a song.
We are the St. George boys. We've had a game today.
One of the songs that has ever been written. Truly. That's what it's described as, folks. That is. Thoughts on Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray. I think you forgot South Pacific Walter something. Communist block. Yeah, we didn't start the fire. I used to know the lyrics to all of it. We're just all doing song lyrics. What is this? Did Leaguie Swear says we are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. Oh, man. You know, there's a game of first grade Australian Rugby League football going on. Like, it's not there's entertainment in front of us, and yet we're just doing songs. What I love about this is that I don't look at viewer numbers while I'm streaming. I intentionally block it out. The one part of my screen I can't see is the bit right up there, where you can see the view count. I have that blocked out for me. So I think the viewer numbers will be dropping as we do that. As people look for NRL commentary. Dean says, I play Pokemon Go every day. I play Pokemon Go. Why is the thing not playing?
Use this money to bet the rights to the game.
There's a try, by the way, here. I don't know why the animation didn't come up. But we do have a donation from WTF, $2 say, use this money to buy the rights to the game. Well, if I did buy the rights to the game, I'd be able to have just seen one of the Dolphins tries that has truly ever been scored. The Finns hit 20. If they win this game, I'm tipped 4 out of 4 so far this round. I actually know ball, fundamentally. Lemuelu, beautiful draw and pass. Le Amer, as they say in France. Beautiful work. Le amizo taboué fido. Yeah, no dramas for him. They're about to lead by 2 converted tries here. Which the player scored? Le amer amizo taboué fido. I'm trying to read the comments, but I don't know which ones are song lyrics and which ones are actual comments. You know what I mean? I know that reference, C-Factor. That's a brilliant reference. Okay. No, that's a song lyric. That's a song lyric. That's a song lyric. I think Hell Yeah, He's in My Draft probably isn't a song lyric. Neither is 4 out of 4 in the tipping comp. Isako. Bang. 22 boys to 10. Things are well and truly up. I think this is good for me as a Roosters fan. I mean, it's good for me as a individual because I had a bet with C Phantom in the preseason about the Cowboys not making the 8. He says they will. I say they won't. And it was something to do with me having a anime girl profile picture on Discord, so I don't want that. Ooh, when I was a young boy, my father took me into see took me into the city to see a Cronulla game. He said, will you defeat them, the Roosters and all their silly boys? Probably not. I hope you don't. We play you in a couple of weeks. Is that When I Was a Young Boy, or is that a different song? I think that might be a different thing. Yeah, something's up with Streamlabs today. That's why the donation animation wasn't showing. It's doing a weirdness, but it ain't my fault. It's their fault. Their servers must be down or something. I'm just getting melodies in my head reading the chat. Steve had to saying on the first part of the journey. That's Horse With No Name by America. Okay, I'm making an executive decision here to not read the chat whatsoever until we get some actual substantive rugby league comments. That's my silent protest. I know, I'm brave. I'm going to die on the hill of talking about rugby league and a rugby league stream. Who would have thought? Talangi with the ball. Plays it. Liam Sutton is in at dummy half. I'm going to pronounce their names like French people do. Jackson perdu. Liam Sutton. Scott Drinkwater. Has been hit very hard there by Dodo Hugh. This is funnier than I expected it to be. Liam Sutton. Nearly up to the 40 there. Yeah, I was hit hard there. Hit hard by Dodo Hugh. Luke in a dummy half to Clifford. Kick from inside the 40. It's angled beautifully here. Oh, that's a 40-20. That is a 40-20. He looked at Daly Cherry Evans last night and said, shut up, Unk. Anything you can do, I can do better. 40-20. Oh, that is absolutely brilliant. Where's the... That's where you get the big bucks. I don't think I have that on my soundboard. What should I give this one? I'm going to give this a... You know what? That's probably a bit high. Yeah, that's a bit high. But anyway, he probably deserves it. All right. Gwen Hess. It's very important that they score next. I think if Dolphins score next, it's a game over, in my opinion. All right. Clifford. Now to find Drinkwater. Oh, short ball. That's stunning. Lock up your daughters. Chester the molester's got to try. Oh, no. That's come from the depths. That's come out of nowhere. Like, half a second before I said that, I had no inclination that I was going to say that. But then I thought of it and said it, and I'm so glad I did. That's brilliant. Anyway. The kid says they are a good comeback team. They're capable of points. They're very capable of scoring points. So this game is far from over. What a ball that was to Tommy Chester. Oh, now see Phantom's referencing the Beatles. That's the way to my heart. You know what? You've ramped up these negotiations. That's going to make it difficult for me. Very difficult for me. All right, okay, here we go. Danny says, Leaguie, am I gay if I'm with a man? Answer my question, because I'm having an existential crisis if I'm even bisexual anymore. I think you would probably know that being with a man doesn't mean that you're homosexual rather than being bisexual. Just like being with a woman wouldn't mean that you're heterosexual rather than being bisexual. You can like both. But you can currently be with just one. That is, in fact, what I would hope would be the case. So anyway. Yeah. Someone asked something about Sunderland. 2018 Sunderland. Oh, here we go. Egg says, who had a worse season? Titans last year or the 2018 Sunderland side? Us. Sunderland, no question. Titans didn't even win the spoon. We were diabolical back then. Leaguey, why is your audience so bi? Look, I think that I'm probably welcoming to that kind of crowd. I don't know if, I won't name names, but you can probably picture the kind of people that I'm talking about. Certain other creators who I've got into a bit of spats before over calls of homosexuality. might not be the most welcoming crowd. Whereas I feel I'm tolerant of pretty much everything. So, yeah. Yes, the bicycle. Am I gay? Am I straight? Am I ace? I'm right, ace. I was like, what is ace? No, but I know what ace is. Am I bi? It is well known. Yeah, I'm not the person to talk to about it. I have never had any struggle with exactly my position. But yeah, I think Danny probably knows the answer there. Hammy Goodman and Denningham are not the creators I'm thinking about. No, Sir George. Absolutely not. They are not homophobic. Okay. Played here. Now for Maxi Plath. It was a good ball there, but Donahue couldn't do too much about it. He absolutely rocked the 122 nightclub here in Canberra. Got up on a table, really busted some moves, which I thought were very impressive. Kick could be a bit deep. There it is. Drinkwater takes it, but it is in the in-goal. Jaden Barrell should sign with Perth and become Jaden Barrell. That is unreal. That is actually a brilliant comment from yourself. I don't feel that that's going to get the acknowledgement that it deserves. I have a friend whose name is Beryl, and that's never occurred to me, but she might actually be the GOAT given that she shares a name with Jaden. Favorite natural disaster? The South Sydney Rabbitohs as a club. Like, just inherently, that naturally are a disaster of an organization. Oscar says, I love you. Thank you very much, Oscar. That's very nice of you to say. I appreciate that. C Phantom says, I have a question. Is it gay to kiss a girl? You're literally kissing someone who likes men. Well, I mean, like, no. No, good question. Very good question. I want more of those. Good take there from Selwyn Cobbo. Brilliant take. I do like the notion, like, I think that makes sense, though, if you were to be like, obviously then, the logical follow-on, as we know, is you got to kiss the homies. And like, at times have we not all, is what I'm going to lead with there. You know, kissing the homies goodnight has never been a problem. But given that the homies have kissed girls, presumably, well, unless they're my homies, in which case they certainly haven't, then that's probably the way to go. When you set up the equation and take the derivative and figure out the gradient. Drinkwater's through here, by the way. Tackle there by Katoa, but not before he got into the attacking half. Cowboys well on top here at the moment. And it's a penalty, and that's going to be 10, surely. I think it's going to be a 10. Okay, so they're not going to... I think Katoa knows how lucky he is here, because this was objectively off a line break. And he slowed it down. You see that be a sin bin so often. Or is it maybe not for holding down? It's for high contact. That'd be why it's not a sin bin. It wasn't for holding down. Wow, this music that's playing is actually kind of banging. I hope you guys can hear it loudly enough. If a dishwasher had a screen door, would you buy it? Like a fly screen door? So the water would get out? Probably not. Is it gay to eat Mentos? It's literally men's toes. No, but it might be cannibalistic. As a guy who literally kissed a guy at halftime, I would say yeah, because they literally like dudes. Well, there we go. And you are an authority, Danny, so I'm gonna respect your lived experience here. Chester, he has an outside winger who was absolutely unmarked. Couldn't get the ball across, unfortunately, for the Cowboys. On the fourth here, Drinkwater. Now in the hands of Clifford. Cotter gets it back to find Clifford. Now in the hands of Sonny Luke. Just takes a run himself. So I'm going to go here in this set here for Naquild. The kid is back, says, who agrees with me? This chat is so weird. Nah, bro, you're the weird one. We're normal. What the hell? Has Jermaine Asako just signed? Yeah, that is a penalty. That's an intentional knock on. Yeah. You're not allowed to do that. That's so weird. Isako did not try to catch it whatsoever. He's just absolutely clarted it forward. That's so weird. Well, Cowboys get 6 more. Leaguie. No, I'm not answering that one. That's weird. I was looking at what Seabed just said. Anyway. Clifford now. Short ball corner. Close, but not there. This is quite a big stage of the game here. Luke. Now to find Taumalolo. Ball is sort of wrapped up by the hammer. It could have come free there. It did not. Luke now. We'll find Clifford. Shovels it on to find... Sutton. They try to offload it and ends up with Isako, and he doesn't intentionally knock it on that time. The Dolphins come up with a ball. They lead by 8. There's a penalty to the Finns. And obviously, as we know, that penalty was telegraphed. That's what Peter V'landys wanted because the NRL's fixed. Wow, haven't seen a deliberate knock-on called in a while. Absolutely true, but I think it's probably because we haven't seen a deliberate knock-on in a while. And I think a testament to the fact that we haven't seen a deliberate knock-on in a while is that Jermaine Isako, one of the most experienced wingers in the comp, evidently had absolutely no idea that there is a rule against deliberately knocking on. Because my man was absolutely baffled when he jumped up for the ball and went, yeah! It's just, I don't know why he thought he was going to get away with that. Anyway. Yeah, Turkey, look, I am behind. My Foxtel Go app is naturally behind, but then it takes time to go through my streaming software, then through YouTube. This ain't going to be live, but I always say at the start of each half, when the kickoff is, so you can sync up with me, the clock currently says 2016. There you go. If you want to sync up with me, there's the moment for you. Ball's come free there. Taumalolo has it in his hands. So Cowboys, good opportunity here. Bro, the League is streaming in half an hour. I better get ready. Now, I've got to get into the suit jacket. If I'm streaming in half an hour. All right. I think I'm good to go now. I'll cue up my intro music. We no longer have deliberate forward passes, do we? Do we not? Did they change that? I wasn't aware of them changing that. Question: if my boyfriend is a fanboy, am I gay? So, Danny, I think you know the answers to these questions, brother. No. No, not necessarily. You could be many things. I would say you could be pretty much everything except heterosexual or asexual. So, yeah. Anyway. When's the TV giveaway? Oh, I was going to say I don't have a TV, but I do, actually. That's a lie. It's behind me. No, I want this TV. So, the story of this TV, this was my old family TV that we brought in 2009 when we first moved to the Netherlands and thought we were going to live there for 1 year. We ended up living there for 12 years. But so this was like a 1-year prospect, and we were going to chuck it out. So, we did not spend a lot of money. 17 rugby league years later, it's on the other side of the world. And it is absolutely fire. I watched the Roosters win 3 premierships on that TV. It holds extreme personal significance to me. It's probably my most prized possession. I adore it. I love it. So, yeah. All right, drink water. Now, how to fight Clifford. This is, I will admit, like, we get rogue in the chat sometimes, and I'm probably responsible for this, but we're getting a little bit more rogue. We are getting a little bit more road than we usually do. Lock on Cowboys. That's not what you want. Todd Payton absolutely stroking his big old beard. He couldn't do these ones because it would just be like, it would be too smooth. There's no texture there. It wouldn't feel anything, but so he has to do this. Do you have the gloves to show? Also, I'm glad you like caramel size. I do. I remind me to get them between the 2 games because they're in my cupboard. Like I would need to leave and go get them, but I will get them. And we'll get them. Alright. No, they could still be ace. Aro ace is where there's no romantic... Oh, sorry, Aro ace is where there's no romantic attraction either. Ace just means there's no sexual attraction. They can still experience romantic attraction. That is very, 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 very valid. That makes a lot of sense. Even then, still. Oscar, just because I've seen it a couple times now, just not, please don't do the whole keyboard spamming thing. Just doesn't look great in the chat. Thank you. Much appreciated. Alrighty. Here we go. The hammer, quick play the ball. He went straight at Sutton, the marker there, and it's drawn to 6 again. That's very, very eyes up from the hammer. He's done well. Thoughts on you tipping Manly for the spoon? I will certainly be talking about it in my latter predictions. It's not as bad a prediction as it looks like, because it was under the assumption that Seabold was their coach, and they lost 3 games at home when Seabold was their coach. They were rock bottom. They were the worst team in the comp by a margin. Obviously, though, Kieran Foran has worked some insane voodoo magic. He's been brilliant. So I'm definitely wrong about it, but I don't think I'm as wrong as it might look like. If you look at my reasoning in that video, it was all... I just mentioned Anthony Seabold. Like, that's all it was, so... All right, Donahue up over the top, fighting Cobbo. He can't stay in the field to play over the sideline there. Tiger says the big lie and its lies have nothing in it. Okay, I don't know what he's talking about here. Is that one of the old predictive text ones? Oscar, I will time you out if you do it again. I did just warn you about it, and you've done it again. Come on, let's have some respect, brother. Let's have some respect. C Phantom says Todd Payton will be sacked in the morning. He's getting sacked in the morning. No, he's not. You're exaggerating, brother. Okay, here's a question for you, and I'm not gonna rework the terms of our bet because I think it's more funny if we don't and we just stick to it. But would you, at this very point, call the bet off if you could? Basically, what I'm asking you is, do you still think that the Cowboys are going to make the top 8 from this point? Pete says, any word on the NRL deal with the Super League? I hear Abdo will sort it out before going to Tennis Australia. I don't know anything more than you probably do. In fact, if there's been any recent developments, I probably know less than you currently do, because I have not been across the rugby league world at large too much lately. But I do know that it's been tracking nicely as far as I'm aware. It feels like every time I make a gay joke, I get an ad cast on me. Noted. Bro, John YouTube is watching. Absolutely watching. Of course I do. The bet stays on. All right, well, if you still think that they're going to make the 8, Peyton in then, surely. Thank you, Oscar. Alrighty. So they give it out now to find Herbie Farnworth. Grab me across field here. Very, James Tedesco style of him. That's a good play for the future Sydney Rooster. He's not signed with us, by the way. I just kind of feel it in my bones. Infield now to find Ray Stone. There's one more to go here in this set. This is going to be the last here. Donahue gets it to Katoa. They're going to go through the hands here. The hammer does put a kick in behind. I think that's knock on from Harlem Luke here. We're going to get play on here. We are. 6 more here. Dolphins with an awesome chance to put this game not quite beyond the Cowboys, but certainly get one hand on the 2 points. Hello, Hayden. How's it going? Donahue through, scores. Kurt Donahue, or as the French would say, Donahue. Brilliant play there. They already led by 8. They convert this one to lead by 14 with 13 minutes to go. It's an unlikely path back here for the Cowboys. I went in and accidentally started changing the wrong scoreline, and yet I still got it done in time. That's brilliant work for myself. Egg says, what do you reckon of Iraola to manage Liverpool? Feels like they were hoping to get Xabi Alonso and had to scramble. I think that is true. I think Xabi Alonso to Liverpool would have been a much better fit. But Iraola's job with Bournemouth this year was nothing short of outstanding. I feel Regis Lebris deserved manager of the season. He didn't get it. If not him, I would have absolutely gone Andoni Iraola. They sold so many high-profile players, Bournemouth, and he still got them up to that level. They are a tiny, tiny club. But he did beautifully. I thought for sure he'd end up back at Bilbao. He's obviously a Bilbao legend. But anyway, ended up at Liverpool. Should be a very, very solid signing for them if he can keep up what he did at Bournemouth. I just feel that at the top level of football or soccer, clubs do not have anywhere near enough patience with managers. I say that as someone who... I like Chelsea. They were my team when I was a very, very little kid. It's been very frustrating following their downfall. I don't really care that much. I'm a 100% a Sunderland supporter. But it's not great to see, even on an individual level, these big clubs not give the managers the time that they need. So I hope Iraola is given the time that they need. Pep got sacked by Man City. That's not true. No, he left Man City. It was his own decision. He didn't get sacked by them. Pete says, Happy Queensland Day. Yeah, we realized that at the start of the stream. Haas is the player with the second most games at prop in his first 150 games. He has 146 starting prop. Roach has 147. Shout out, used to set our stats. Shout out to them.
Fellas, is it straight to love in guys? I mean, you literally love something girls like.
Okay, on that note, I'm reining us in, boys and girls. I'm reining us in. Thank you for the $5. Let's keep it on track, all right? Let's keep it on track. Don't want to be talking about things that are too rogue. I will start putting out timeouts and yeah, mods keep an eye on it, obviously. Let's get it back on track, all right? Peace. Who scored? It was Donahue. Donahue scored the try. All right, Fine Fuiaki with the ball for the Finns. They're about 25 out from the Cowboys line. On the fourth here, Katoa hit beautifully there by Jake Clifford. So I'll probably go to find Nikorima on the last. Here we go. Donahue gets it to Nikorima. Oh, but it was a bit of a hospital pass out behind him. Nikorima will die with the ball there. So not a bad place to turn the ball over. They're about 10 meters out, but yeah, not maybe the last play that the Dolphins had in mind. Dean says, I don't think Dragons will make the top 8 or bottom 20. Well, bottom 20, I'd say, is likely. Statistically. I think next year, though, Dragons top 8 is a tremendous shout. I've said this a few times, but I cannot believe their recruitment drive. Given where they are on the ladder, where they are as a club, I know they've got brilliant young forwards coming through and players want to be part of that, but the number one thing that a player asks in any contract negotiation when you're signing for a club is, who's the coach? Who's going to be the coach? How much can I be confident that the guy who is the coach will continue to be the coach? It's a big reason why clubs like, say, the Roosters are able to recruit well, because Trent Robinson will be our coach for the foreseeable future. So, the fact that they've done so without a coach is insanely good. Insanely good. Unfortunately for them, the guy who I think would have been the perfect signing, Brad Arthur, has just signed a 2-year extension with the Leeds Rhinos. He would have, easily been number one choice, in my mind, to coach them. Unfortunately, though, he'll be staying over there, so I don't know who they turn to at the moment. Is the Leaguie available to be coach of at NRL_Rams? If you want to sign me up, I'll be happy to do it. For sure. 6-1 here for the Finns. The Fox scoreboard hasn't caught up to it. I don't know if the Dolphins themselves have caught up to it. No, it is still the last. So Matt Russell has got that one wrong. Nikorima, dummies, has a bit of space. What a pass! Oh my days, what a try this is for the Dolphins. Game, set, match. Happy Queensland Day, everyone. Finns on top. That they are, and they've nailed that one. Look at that. It was absolutely ad-lib, ad hoc, whatever you want to call it. Ball got to Katoa. It was just scramble. Absolute scramble on the last. Nothing working. Offload's going to ground. Nikorima just kind of dummied and went for it, and then a wild pass out wide. Could have been forward, but it did well to pass it back. Cobo in for a double. Un double, as they say in French. Throwbo living up to his name? That he is. That he absolutely is. My word, he is. Oh, more word he is, as Michael Ennis would say. As a die-hard Dragons fan, I would like to see Michael Cheika as the head coach. He coached Argentina in rugby union, and they ended up beating the All Blacks in Hamilton. He's a great coach. Well, he's currently the assistant coach at the Roosters. And there is a insane rate of Roosters assistant coaches lately becoming head coaches. We had Craig Fitzgibbon Before that, we had Jason Taylor. We've had Justin Holbrook. We've had Adam O'Brien. And Michael Checker could be the next up on that list. That's it. I mentioned Fisker, but I think, yeah. So, Jason Riles as well, another one. So, yeah, it's been, being a Roosters assistant coach has been a very good path to first grade coaching. We'll see if Michael Checker follows on. What a pass to Cobbo. It really was. It really, really was. Robbo, Checker, DCE will be great coaches. I think Robbo already is. DCE does feel like one, doesn't he? It's funny. Obviously, he won't be coaching Manly, or at least you wouldn't think so, given Kieran Foran sort of taking up that mantle. It'd be so good for them if they could bring in Cherry Evans as an assistant next year. But apparently, part of Cherry Evans' deal at the Roosters is some sort of coaching role beyond retirement. Isako nails it. Absolutely nails it. 34 now. This scoreline is really blown out. A 20-point win in the end. Well, there's a fair bit of play still left to come, but 20 points is the margin. And it was very competitive through the vast majority of the game. It was only 6 points in it at halftime. Fiends have a strong backline and forward line. Their squad on paper is brilliant. And not only that, but their depth is unreal. You look at the players that aren't playing today. There's some really, really good quality in there. So, they've got everything they need to be a premiership contender. All they need really is to go on a little bit of a run, but they look so good at the moment. They really do. For teams looking for a coach, I hear Ange Postecoglou is open and free. You know you'll win something in the second year at least. I've seen people linking him with Fulham. Obviously, it didn't work out for him at Nottingham Forest. We didn't get much of a go. Anyway. Hot pick, Sean O'Sullivan will be a great coach. Well, that's certainly what they're saying. That his rugby league brain is just incredible. So, Hi Demon Elgrim as Dars coach, IMO. I don't know what the odds are on that one. I don't know if he's particularly being linked at the moment. Up the Cowboys says, what's my team doing? Currently losing by 20 points. Unfortunately. Sorry to break it to you, bud. So Dolphins will go 7 wins, 5 losses. That's not bad. They're only 1 win off the Roosters in third. They're up and about there. That's Seagulls, Knights, Dolphins. Even Rabbitohs and Chucks I'd extend that to. Excuse me. Very much a case of teams that could go on a bit of a run and step into that upper echelon. I think the Roosters exist in their own category. I don't think we're at the level of Penrith and Warriors, but even, to be honest, Penrith are a level above the Warriors. But yeah, you got a distinct 1, 2, 3, and then a bit of a group. Looking at the ladder, this has one of the reasons why I really don't like bye rounds getting you 2 points. The Cowboys, who are 8 wins and 5 losses, they'll now be 8 and 6, are below the Sharks, who are 6 wins and 5 losses. Literally, same amount of losses. Cowboys have 2 more wins, and yet Sharks are above them on the ladder. Make it make sense, please. Make it make sense. Right, there's a bit of a tangle going on here. Bit of a good old-fashioned rugby league tangle. Someone in Cast Patrol's live stream on Sideline FM had the username Age is a cat. What? Oh, Ange is a cat, you mean? Sideline FM and me were in a lot of talks back in the day, but I just can't find a way to make it work. I don't think my style of commentary works in the audio-only forum. Anyway, Stone. Oh, wild pass out the back, knocked on there by Herbie. Herbalicious. Tragic, but the game's over anyway. 5.5 minutes left. What would you do if Tigers beat Penrith tomorrow? Probably be impressed. 1 Panthers, 2 Roosters, 3 Manly, 4 Warriors. I have Warriors above Manly. I'm still not on the Manly train yet. And I know that's unbelievable, but I still don't think that they can, well, no, they can. I don't think they will beat the best teams come the finals. If I was in the finals, coming up against Manly, let's say week 1 of the finals, Roosters play Manly, that would only happen if we finish second and they finish third, because we're not winning the minor premiership. But anyway, let's say that's the case. I'm confident. I'm very confident. But we'll see. We'll see how long it continues. I still kind of think, like, we're beyond form. We're beyond it being form, but I still think they're playing better than they actually are, if that makes sense. I don't think we will see them hold up this level for the whole year. Now in the hands of Chester. I hear Catalan Dragons are playing a match in Paris tomorrow. Is that already tomorrow? I heard something like that was coming up. High up in the air. Oh, Osako tackled in the air there. Yeah, that's a penalty. Taulagi, he might cop a bit for that one. That's a dangerous tackle high up in the air there. How do you feel about the Dolphins' first win being against your Roosters? Not great, bloke. Not great. You asked that quite a bit earlier, I think, as well. But I've just noticed it on my screen. I remember that day. I was so excited to see the Dolphins play, but I was very, very confident we would win. People were saying that the Dolphins were, like, going to finish last by a margin. And I took the day... So I had a job at the time, and I denied a shift that would have got me several $100s so that I could be at home and watch the game live. I could have taken the shift and watched the game on delay later, but I denied several $100s so that I could watch that game live, and we lost quite comprehensively. It was a disaster. So much so that I obviously still remember it to this day. But anyway, I've liked our record against them since then. Cody Nikorima is off contract at the end of the season. Where to next? Do the Dolphins have anyone knocking on that door? I mean, Donahue, I don't think is maybe a week in, week out 5/8. Avarillo might have been, but he's apparently going off to the Tigers. Why not say? Finish the sentence. Rabbitohs fans should blank themselves. I think Rabbitohs fans should love themselves. And then kill... No. We're not going there. Kick up in the air. 2.5 minutes left here. Underneath this one is going to be... Oh, Labour has knocked it on. Now in the hands of the Hammer. They've got 6 more here. They might not need it with Hamiso with the ball in hand. No, they're just going to hold it there. Oh, strip. It's been a strip. It's been a good old-fashioned rugby league strip. That's going to be knock on Cowboys. In 1996, they had a PSG rugby league team. What potential Super League had. I take great joy out of telling people Paris Saint-Germain used to be a rugby league team. Default says, I was at the Roosters game last night. So was I. It was a lot of fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. George Williams coming to Dolphins, isn't he? That's true. Great point. Brilliant work from yourself. You're not wrong. He's not a young boy, though. He ain't. Like, I don't really get that signing. I think he's a doer of a job. Absolutely can do the job. But he's 31. He's going to be 32 by the time he comes here next year. 32. That's your guy? On God? For real? Cody Nikorima would be about that. Yeah, Cody Nikorima is 32. So it's sideways at best. All right, looks like the challenge isn't going to be successful here. Are you going to Raiders Dragons in round 17? If it's in Canberra, almost certainly, yes. The strip. Yeah, it's going to be... It's not even a 1-on-1 strip, actually. It's a 2-on-1, but the challenge is unsuccessful. 2 minutes left. This will be the last set that the Dolphins get, you would think. He's washed, unfortunately, having bad season in Super League. Is this George Williams? That's not great. I think I tipped Dolphins in 6th, did I, this year? That's not a bad prediction. What games do you usually go to? In years gone by, I've been to, I don't know what, like maybe half of the Roosters home games. And pretty much every Raiders home game. This year is just the Raiders home games. I haven't had the time to make the trip up to Sydney that regularly. All right, pass back. Donahue had no idea the ball was there. He's got it anyway. Ball to find Flegler. Through. Scores. Dolphins will get 40. My days, what a day out here for the Finns. Finns are well and truly up. Tommy Flegler, he started the game by showing us a full moon and is brought up 4-0 to end this game. Have a look at that. What a day for the Finns. Donahue had no clue the ball was there. Absolutely no clue. That is hilarious. He gets up, jumps around, does a try assist. You love to see it.
BO2 just redeemed changed the background color. High leg man.
Hello. I was waiting for a color. Oh, red, please. Okay, red, please. We'll go with red. That's a bit orangey. We'll go with... Yeah, that's red enough. That's red enough. 38-14 will obviously be 40. God damn. God damn. God damn. It's good to see Tommy Flegler, though. That's his first try of the year. Oh, Tommy Flegs, the banana farmer. Bananas up. Fins up. There's a minute left. The clock will just tick down. We'll get a start of play again, but Osaka's in no hurry whatsoever to take this kick. Didn't see this coming. I didn't see this margin coming, that's for sure. I did, however, think that the Dolphins were going to win comfortably. But no, I would not have tipped them to put 40 on the Cowboys. That's a bit of a concern. Like, I know, obviously, Tom did and makes a tremendous difference to this side, but conceding 40 is a big, big thing. That goes beyond just one player. Looking at their draw... I want to look at what they've got moving forward. Next up, Warriors and Cry. Oh, my days. Okay, so they've got a bye, then Warriors, Panthers, and then a bye. Given that they lost last week, they will go a month and a half without winning. I don't think they beat Warriors in Christchurch. I don't think they beat Panthers even up in Townsville. After the bye, it's Sea Eagles at Brookvale, then Dolphins again at Suncorp, then Broncos in Townsville. So by then it's round 21. There's a world where they wait till round 21 for their next win. And even that's not a gimme. Broncos, then Roosters round 22. I'm not going to death ride them by any means. But honestly, of their next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, I currently wouldn't tip the Cowboys in any of them. So that's kind of incredible. Are you watching the Broncos game next? Yes, sir, I am. Absolutely. Will be doing that. And I'll be streaming it as well. You won't need to do anything. You just sit tight, sunshine. Can you play the Dolphin song, please? I will, after the game is done. There is the full time. I didn't update the score, but it is 40 points to 14. It was 16 points to 10 at halftime. That second half is absolutely massive. 24 points to 4. Open guess, we'll be doing it. We'll be doing it. Don't you worry. Where do you think Dragons finish next year? I reckon they're a very good chance to top 8. Before we get into open guesser, I will try and change this stream to the next one. On Twitch, you will not need to do anything. Sit tight, don't stress. On YouTube, the way that I think this will work is that you just don't do anything and you'll be redirected automatically to the next one. We'll see how we go. Regardless, see you in a bit, YouTube.